It's 2022, and Valorant has been out for 2 years. You've probably heard of the terms counter-strafe, strafe shooting, or even jiggle peeking. I want to go over those ideas again, because those concepts have evolved throughout the years, as players have really started to master Valorant. I'm even going to go one step further and provide you with a tip even some Immortal 3 rank players don't understand yet. Let me start out by explaining why all high-level players strafe. It's because of the game's movement mechanics. When peeking an angle, the goal is to be as fast as possible, while maintaining good crosshair placement to make shots accurately. That's why good players try to only use their A and D keys. By using the A and D keys, they can peek at maximum speed, but also have good crosshair placement. If someone peeks using the W key, they're much slower on the enemy's screen, and it prevents them from having their crosshair on a common angle. Before we get into more though, remember, this is all just part of our hyper improvement system over on the website. We have so many courses designed to walk you through the process of becoming a better player, and we're even so positive you'll improve. We offer a money-back guarantee. More about that at the end of the video. So counter-strafing is when you strafe one way and quickly stop your movement by clicking the opposite key. An example would be if you're strafing to the left, you would hold your A key, and when you want to quickly stop, you let go of A and tap the D key at the same time. When pressing the opposite directional key, you have a few brief frames where you can fire off an accurate shot. The reasons players will implement counter-strafing into their gameplay is because by applying counter-strafing, you actually become accurate slightly faster than you would if you were not counter-strafing. But this also allows you to be far more mobile in the game. And this brings us to what we call strafe shooting. Strafe shooting is the act of implementing counter-strafing in a more fluid motion. You'll strafe to one side, counter-strafe, shoot, but this time you'll continue strafing and repeat. Using strafe shooting, you keep yourself incredibly mobile, while still being able to fire off accurate shots. Many players don't realize how important this is, but if you ever want to see how beneficial counter-strafing is, I encourage you to load into a deathmatch lobby with a sheriff and only aim for the headshots. Now, pay attention to when the enemies you fight crouch. Notice how much easier it is to headshot the crouching targets than it is to headshot the strafing targets? Crouching is one of the easiest ways to get yourself killed, and if you're not counter-strafing in a gunfight, you might as well be crouching. Counter-strafing may be something that you find frustrating to pick up in practice, and that's okay. But you'll see a massive improvement to your gameplay by learning how to do this. Don't beat yourself up if you can't get it right away. Even some Immortal players still struggle to always counter-strafe effectively.
Why does he move like that?
The cool thing though, now that you learned how to counter-strafe, and why it's important, this unlocks tons of different movement techniques to add to your arsenal. Starting with jiggle peeking. Jiggle peeking is when you swing into an area as slim as possible and swing straight back into cover. Jiggle peeking is used when you want to get information of what's around that corner or wall without committing to a gunfight. Learning how to jiggle peek also allows you to pre-fire more efficiently. This is because by practicing counter-strafing, you can find the time at which you're exposing as little of your body as possible, while also taking an accurate shot on your target, taking advantage of your crosshair placement. You can practice both of these mechanics in the practice range, using the natural walls and pre-firing around them. You can also select Sage in the practice range and create your own walls to jiggle peek around. This next tip is most effective when trying to get out of lower ranks and to win more gunfights. It's the art of strafe shooting and burst firing. Rather than just shooting one shot when counter-strafing, you'll now take advantage of those few frames when you're accurate to get the most bang for your buck. You can often get 2, sometimes 3 shots off before you're inaccurate. Practice this and get your timings precise to easily outmaneuver your opponents. And here's a tip that Immortal 3s don't even know about. When counter-strafing in a gunfight, people tend to go left and right and back to the left and so on, but if you can break out of that pattern and make it less predictable what direction you're going to go, it'll win you more gunfights. By changing the pattern up, it makes your movement way harder to track. For example, you can start by strafing left, then right, but instead of going left again, creating a pattern, stop your movement and go right again. You have never seen something funnier and more annoying than a player who strafes right 4 times in a row. Now, I know, many of you may be thinking, what are they talking about? This would require my fights to not end with me getting one-tapped, which will happen from time to time. It's just part of the game. But if you're not using counter-strafing, you're probably actually getting killed very quickly, more often than not, due to something we've mentioned before, crouching. By implementing counter-strafing more into your matches, you'll realize that the players you're fighting aren't actually as good as you think they are. They'll miss shots way more than you think, if you just give them the chance to. Practice this in deathmatch, practice it in the range, and I promise you, you will start climbing rapidly. Remember though, if you're really looking to climb, over at skillcapped.com, we have all the tools you need to start climbing in Valorant. Whether you're in the depths of iron or on the road to immortal, we've got all you need to improve at the game. All of the VOD reviews from our top coaches are available for you, so you can start learning from actual Radiant players. We also have those same coaches teach you how you can carry in any rank in the game, with just a little bit of game sense. All of this, as we mentioned before, is backed by a rank improvement guarantee, meaning if you don't climb in rank while actively using our service, you'll get your money back. No questions asked. We do this because our system works, and if it doesn't work, you shouldn't pay for it. So what are you waiting for? Click that link down in the description below, and we'll see you there.